All right, we are live. So we're going to keep working on level 20, whatever the hell the name of that level is. We'll just call it another freaking cave level that we have to put a ton of work into, because that's what it is. Um, I'm hoping to be able to get the ground textures, walls, and fill in those internal columns done. Um, and then we're gonna have to look and see what's actually in these big ass rooms that are in this thing. So hopefully, I'm hoping we can get this thing done today. That would be amazeballs. So that's what we're looking for. Getting this done today. I think we'll take tomorrow off from mapping. I didn't even realize. I mean, I was thinking about getting Dark Alliance, the D&D game, and I was looking on Steam this morning, seeing if it was there, and taking a look around, and I noticed that it's free on Xbox Game Pass. And I am not one to say no to free. Game Pass has saved me money on Outriders now and this game just in the last couple of months. So, it's more than paying for itself. And I'm not one to complain about not paying for a game. I mean, let's face it, you're paying $14.99 a month, but I'm playing more on on Xbox Game Pass than just like the new game or whatever that comes out. I go in and mess with other stuff, so if I was to go in and try a game but pay full price for it, and then you feel committed to play it. But the fact that I'm getting it included in Game Pass, if I don't like it, I can move on. It doesn't freaking matter. So, I mean, it's a money saver. And as far as gaming is concerned, it's a game changer because of that. You're not committing yourself to playing something that maybe sucks. All right. So I keep hoping, Ubisoft, if that thing comes on board, that will be amazing. Then every time a new Assassin's Creed comes out, included in my Game Pass. That's what we're looking for. All right. Let's go ahead and hit this. I'm pretty sure it'll be right. There it is. So, I think what I'm going to do is lay down the cave ground texture. And we're going to start like we did yesterday, right up here. And we need to remember, I want to actually put this on below water, because it'll still cover this floor, but then I'll still be able to see and I'm going to put this down, then erase it. So like, we'll do this here. Whatever you put down, it puts it down, it covers, and does exactly what you should need it to do. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to verify that I have the right pattern picked, which this is it, the cave floor. And we'll see. Let's see how we can get this thing going. All right. So this is just going to be one long line. I think I'm going to try not to do as many stupid little dots. See, before what we would do, because we were trying to create all the walls and pathways and stuff using the builder, you ended up having to do this floor pattern in little sections, where now we can do it as one giant blob. And granted, you know, it's still adding a little bit of work to this. But, you know, what's more important is it's going to look good when we're done. Now, that last map, I know it was caverns with, you know, basically a cave, but we opted to leave the grid pattern on that map. Just a choice. And let's face it, if you don't like it, there are other maps out there you can use. They won't necessarily be built in Dugeondraft, won't carry over to your Foundry, but, you know, don't feel obligated to use the map. You have to be happy visually with the maps that you're running. But, you know, sometimes I just want to do something different on a map, because why the hell not? I think today it's going back to being hotter than hell outside. Back in the 90s, yesterday we had our cool front where it was like 86 degrees. Pretty sad when you're saying 86 degrees is a cool front. All right, let me just double check one thing. All right, there we go. So everything's working. There are times when I wish I had have opted to. I've got like a glass stand there where I keep all the consoles, and we do play with them. But there are times when I wish I might have opted to take that down and gotten a longer table. Which one of these days I still may do. I mean, it's just go to fucking IKEA, get a goddamn table and legs. They're cheap. But then I have to come up with a storage solution, which, I mean, if we do that, we could actually put the consoles on the table on the ends and maybe get that a little more straight over there. That might be an option. I'm going to have to measure and see if that's going to work. That could be a weekend project coming up. Redoing this room one more time. I mean, I still have stuff that I really need to clean up in here. I mean, I have another door over that way, and I kind of like the fact that nobody can come in through it, but, you know, because if they knew that it was accessible, my wife or daughter or somebody would be coming in there all the time pestering the fuck out of me. Means I gotta put more locks on the doors. But, I've got like tons of camera gear over there that I just keep there. I'm gonna have to go in one more time. The closet behind me where those LED lights are on the frame. I'm probably gonna go in there and mess with that. I doubt I'll be going out and playing paintball anymore because my knees don't want to let me run. So I'm going to have to ask the kids. I mean, I've got their markers in there. I've got mine. It's like, if you're going to play, you need to take a shit. In fact, my son moved out. I can use his room to store some shit. So I don't want to get, I don't really, it's not something you're going to give away or throw away, especially when you're talking about markers. Paintball markers are expensive as fuck. Unless you're just getting like a cheap pneumatic or something like that. You get them with the electronics so you can do all kinds of settings and definitely not a cheap hobby. Definitely. It's looking like we're seeing these passageways here. I think unlike the last map where we had to cut the walls inside the lines a little bit so that these 5-foot squares would work out. We're not going to have to do that because there appears to be plenty of room to be able to move tokens through there. And that is something I always take into account on my maps, is making sure there's room for character tokens to move. I mean, if you don't think about that stuff, it's going to bite you in the ass. Thor, what are you licking? Yep, I was pretty excited when I saw that we'll be able to play Dark Alliance, and I think we're going to do that tomorrow. I wanted this map to be done or almost done by end of stream today. So we're going to make sure it is. If that's the case, we can spend a day or so messing around on that game. I still wish the cave builder tool gave us more options for walls and stuff. Because for something like this, the cave building tool is absolutely perfect. But, we would have to go in, work on, basically it looks like it works like a digging tool. Dig out our cave, our hall, walkways, all that kind of stuff. And then we'd still have to come in and lay down the textures. So if they would just fix it so that all of these textures are usable in the cave tool, that's like my next dream improvement. We can dream. I think we're getting close. Well, maybe not. We could have started messing with Dark Alliance today, but I noticed that looks like they're like some save issues, issues with grouping. I wanted to give it a day and see if maybe they could get some of that shit fixed. Because I know I'm probably going to go in and play with some people that I know, at least one. And I don't want to have to deal with, oh, we're getting kicked every time we finish one of the missions. Because that seems to be a common complaint. You finish a mission, the group is disbanded. And that shouldn't be a thing. It should be, we're done, we are disbanding the group. Now we've made the corner turn, so we're getting close to coming back over here. So we can get this stuff to cut pretty close to the middle. Nothing here has to be exact. Just has to be underneath our walls. Look at that. We're getting close to our starting lines over here. See, the fact that we're able to do it this way, this is one of those map making choices that I've decided to do to save time and make life easier. All right, let's move this here. That's why I really am thinking about redoing in here again. All right. So there we go. We have our cave floor laid down. Now we start needing here we go. That's what we were talking about. These look like these passageways are a little smaller than 5 feet, so we're going to have to create some room. And we'll probably cut just inside here, just inside here. That'll create a little more room. Again, you have to take into account when you're doing a map that your players see a hole, they're going to go into it. And even though it's a mouse trap, and they're going to get caught and won't be able to move, they're still going to go into it. So just avoid the headache and make the passages wide enough for somebody to get through. And, you know, your life will be easier when you're running your game. So that's what we're doing. All right. So I think we used the G wall, right? Let's look at the building tool. Yep, we used the G wall. So we're going to start laying these walls in here. So I'm going to lay this one down first, and then we will work on the other passages. And you don't need to open up a lot. You just need to make sure that this is going to create enough room for a token. And these squares are 10 feet. So we need about a half a square's distance available between these walls. All right, now that laid down right on there. We're going to have to be more aggressive up here and over here. So this we'll be able to lay down on the line. I think this entire section here, just to cover our bases, we're going to come in here and then we'll hit the line. So right here, this corner is where we need to cut in a little bit harder. And there we should have enough room to make it through. Could be close right in this turn, but it should be fine. So this wall from here to here, going around this arc, is fine. We need to cut it in there. So let's start where we want the actual corner to be. And then once we come in here, we're going to start opening up this. Come on, you can close. There you go. Are we happy with that? It's a little tight right there. A little tight. So I think we're going to make it less tight here. There, that opens it up. All right, this is fine here. It's just going to be this run here, and we're going to cut in fairly sharp to make it work. So, tell you what, let's do this. See, it starts off good right here, and then it just gets aggressive. Then the rest of it's fine. Now, if our walls were actually just as thick as these black lines, we'd be fine. But they're not, so we're not fine. And we're going to come in a little bit just inside here, even though it looks like it's good. I want to give it some room. Right there's a little tight. So we're going to loosen it up a little bit. That's better. I think we'll come inside just a little bit there. Maybe cut that corner a little bit. Let's look and see what else we have. We'll probably pull this out, this little appendix. That's what it looks like. Pull it out. And I think that will all be fine. So let's start with what we said we're going to pull out. Instead of doing it dipping in, let's do this. Oop. And that'll actually create a little gap if somebody wants to go down there. You always have to plan around character silliness. Tell you one thing that drives me nuts. You know, you'll get in, and I'll generally tell the players, you know, everybody, you know, whoever moves first, stop at your movement value. So let's say it's 30 feet, and they just keep going. It's like, you know, if you're going to stay as a group, stay as a group. Now what I do, and they still haven't learned their lesson yet, but, you know, I'm like, move your movement speed, stop, wait for everybody to catch up. They don't listen. They walk into a room where there's a bunch of stuff. I hit the pause button. I flash the enemies that are on the screen, and I attack the guy that's running ahead of everybody else. One of these days, they're going to learn. I'm just waiting for that day for them to stop playing like a monkey reaching in a cookie jar. I don't know that they're ever going to stop playing like a monkey in a cookie jar. All right, so there's that wall. We got a lot of these to do. We needs to be getting them done. So we just have a lot of these little zones. I'm going to cut across the top, do this section up here. All right, so here, let's cut inside pretty sharp and create some room. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We get the same general design. It doesn't have to be exact. And then this is fairly obvious that these squares are not 5 feet or anywhere close. So we're going to do that. And I think at the bottom of this wall section, we're just going to cut a little bit inside. We'll do the same thing over there. And that, I'm hoping, will be fine. Let me send a quick text out. Sorry about this. Take a look at something. All right, we're good. All right, looks like there's another little column of rock here. Shit. What the fuck just happened? Alright, let's get our mouse in here. There we go. What the fuck? Let's try that again. We're going to make this kind of up here. I mean, it's really, you know what? I think we're going to undo that. We're going to do this one the way it's made. And, you know. That's where it's going to stay. So we're going to cut inside here. Make a little bit of line to walk. And I think we're going to have to cut it shallow from the original lines there. So let's do that. We'll do a little thing there, cut across, and there should be enough room to walk. So it looks like that's going to be a 5-foot square there. Not really, but the diagonal should work. And then these are 5s here. And I think we'll cut inside these lines because we want the walking path to kind of be this way so they can get in and not fall into the walls. And we'll try and do the same thing here and allow these squares to be walkable. So we're going to cut inside. Come on. As long as it doesn't double click and screw with that line, we're fine. There we go. Had to move a window. Like I said, I don't think we're going to get to where we are decorating this map today. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. But we have so much base layout that we have to do. So see, there's a 5-foot square there, and then they can walk up into there. All right, here we kind of have a 5. We're going to cut this shallow, come around here, and then we're really going to cut inside because that's not a full 5 foot. I think we're going to cut it so that it goes across here. That'll be 5, 5. And we're going to make a walking path kind of this way. So we want 5 foot, 5 foot. So we'll come across here. There's our 5. And we are just going to knock this wide here. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Because looking at it, if we went with the lines that they have, characters are going to end up in partial instead of full squares. These damn 10-foot squares on this massive map drive me insane. And we're going to just knock it in here. Like I said, once we finish all these walls, I have to fill in the columns afterwards. Because I don't want the, even though, let's face it, characters will never see the inside of these columns. I'll know they're there, And I wanted to match the granite on the outside because that is all part of the mountain. And the fact that I know it's there, it has to be fixed. So we're going to cut in here. And we did that so that we have 5 foot, 5 foot, 5 foot. There's a definite walking path for tokens all the way down there. And we're going to cut this short too. Same thing here. So should be able to go across here, down, a little bit of room. Definitely have a path. Now, I am not going to cut this here. They won't be able to walk through there. They'll be able to peek through. We're going to worry more about creating space up here to walk. Come on. See, that's not even a 2-foot space. Nobody's getting through that. Ever. I may down here because let's take a look. Yeah. We're going to have to create, these are not, you know, the original map, the people who drew the map originally, they didn't think. But let's face it, these maps were drawn for people playing at a table, not people playing on a virtual tabletop. So, Borny Kill, how's it going? So we have to, I mean, that's what these are being used for, is a virtual tabletop. And the fact that we are trying to make this so it works on a virtual tabletop, you have to make it so that the characters can get through there. And I say this over and over. But, you know, you have to make it so it's playable. I mean, if you're playing live in person at a table, you'd probably be drawing the map areas out, or just only drawing the maps once it gets to actual combat zones. But we don't have that luxury here. All right, that's good. Now for them coming down through this zone, we're going to have to make pathways. So we're going to do that and make all of these little rock columns smaller than they were drawn. The ones that are creating our passages and our walkways. So we'll make this one a little smaller, both on the top and bottom. We can keep that true to size, but this is where we need to cut off here. And we'll do the same thing here and cut a little bit off the top. It's like a bad haircut, isn't it? And we're gonna drastically reduce this right here. So that's a squeeze. They might make it through, they might not, but we're going to create a passage here where they can. So we're going to really cut this sharply inside. right like this. And we're going to cut inside here too. Because even though this, again, I have to reiterate, if I were to follow the lines, these things would come in about here, and there is no way that you can create a walking passage for the characters. So when the lines themselves create a 5-foot passage, you've got to knock it back. And that's what we're doing. And we'll cut this inside as well. And then we can come out, be true to line for a little bit. And now we're going to start cutting inside. The thing is, I used to, when I would make these things, I would be true to the lines. I didn't bother worrying about making a walkable passage for the characters. And that's just a mistake. So we've got some 5-foot zone there, corners. They can go diagonal there, here. This will be a tight diagonal, but I think it'll work. And let's see if there's anything else in that zone. There's not. There's a big ass thing there. We'll get to that in a minute. And hopefully we'll have all our players there tonight, because they're coming up on some nasty combat zones. This, I think we're fine here. We're going to cut it this way. We've got a 5-foot there, 5-foot there, so we can stay relatively close. This is where we could have a problem, so let's go inside, leave that. And we're going to come inside on this also. We're going to make this smaller. Once we get out into this wide open space, which for this zone, that is a wide open space, pretty sad. We're going to have to compensate here. I think we're going to do this all just barely inside, and it should be fine. Perfect. This one we're going to do just inside, and it'll take up the exact amount of space. And this is where we said we're going to compensate. I think we'll try to take that a little bit high. So there's our path. We're going to have to really, I think we're going to have to move this way inside here to make it work. So let's just kind of copy the line this way. We're going to have to come inside here too. That's more than enough room. We're good. Let's zoom out. I want to take a look and see. We still have some massive zones of walls to put in. Then we can start filling and building. Oh, I don't know. Is it morning, afternoon? I have no fucking idea. It's 11:20, so still technically morning. And it's starting to get back to normal, stupid, warm weather here. We had a one-day cold front come through. Got a little bit of rain. It was really pretty uneventful. We've been really lucky, though. We have had, and there are people who would be like, that's not lucky. You know what? When you're in Texas and, you know, rain is always at a premium. Yeah, we were really lucky this year with the amount of rain that we got. Normally we're getting all these warnings saying, you know, drought, don't water your lawn, don't do this, don't do that. And, you know, we're still overflowing on our lakes. So this could end up, I know I was reading out in California, they're having like, their water tastes like mud and there's all kinds of shit because they are not getting anywhere near the rain they need. And, you know, anybody's dumb enough to complain about all the rain we had this year, you know, we could be having that muddy water out of the tap. 11 is the start of the afternoon. All I know is I am tired as hell. My damn daughter, I have no, you know, I'm just getting fed up with kids. I tell you what, my kids make me want to rebrand my channels. So I'm no longer RPG Dad. I don't know what I would rebrand as, but oh my God. But she decided she was going out this morning at like 3 a.m. No idea where she went, you know, not the courtesy of a text or anything. And of course it woke me up and I was awake for like an hour and a half because once I get woke up by something like that, I'm awake. You know, my body goes on high alert. We're really going to come in a lot on these lines. She does that shit all the time. I mean, when I checked out, because I have security cameras and stuff inside and outside, at the entry so you can see the front door, who's coming in, if I need to shoot somebody or not. Um, and, her she had her boyfriend over till like that time and left, and I've told them he needs to be the fuck out of the house by 11 so that his mom can get her sleep, or her mom can get her sleep. And I'm going to have a conversation with this boy and say, you need to be out by then, or you're going to hear the sound of a 12 gauge racking telling you it's time to get the fuck out of the house. Now, she gives me I'm an adult, I don't have to tell you anything bullshit. And I'm like, well, you're an adult. You can feel free to move the fuck out. Just tell me when that's going to happen. It's just common courtesy. As long as I lived with my parents, I would do my best to not like be waking them up in the middle of the night. You know, respecting the fact that the old man had to work and he needed his sleep. I would give them the courtesy of, hey, I'm going to so and so's house. If I wasn't coming home, I'd be like, I won't be home tonight. Don't worry about it. I'm over there. We're going to be gaming or doing whatever all night long. And, I always gave the courtesy of letting them know, so they wouldn't be worried. Where she's created an environment where, I'll be honest, I stopped worrying. I have You have no control. It's not like you can say, no, you can't go, because they're adults in the eyes of the law, even though they can't support themselves. And, it's kind of bullshit. Exactly. Kids don't get that. A lot of them don't get that. If you're saying it, you're not one. Right, so I think that's all those little zones. We can start filling them in. I'm very happy with that. The fact that it's done. Not necessarily the map itself, but I'm happy that that is done. So let's take a look. Yeah, we're good. So now we need some filler. And I need to see, because if I can place filler on top of that on the same layer as the cave floor, that'll make me really happy. I haven't tried this before. I'm thinking this is what we want to use. Exactly. I'm just going to do this small zone, and let's see what this looks like. Let's see if it actually fills. This is an experiment. It filled! I'm so excited. Not really that excited, but I am excited. Now let's see. That really doesn't match that, does it? So we're going to play and see if we can find one that really is close to that. And that's the thing. It's hard to tell if you're getting a good match with that trace image on. That might be what we have to do, though. You know what? I think I'm being too picky. I do that a lot. Yeah, the bills. And here's the thing. Um, I mean, she doesn't really comprehend what those bills are. Health insurance. Now, I haven't let her get a license because she's irresponsible. Um, but she's going to have to get a car insurance, um, health insurance. We can cover until 25. I don't give a fuck about that. Um, the dog that she always goes off and leaves here, so she's sleeping with us. So we have 5 dogs in bed with us instead of, well, not 5. One's on the floor because she's too old to get up, and the other one, he ends up wanting to sleep in the crate. So we end up with 3 dogs on the bed because Tessa has to be all over me. Thor has to be all over me. And then Luna, her dog, has to be all over me. So it's always exciting sleeping that way at night. But her dog has a heart condition. So every month there's like $150 in medications that we have to give that dog. And I've already said to the wife, if she moves out, between there's a prescription food she has to eat because of her heart, and then she has pills and stuff, she can't afford that. The dog's got to stay here. Plus, I know she is not once given the dog her pills. So, I'm not going to let the dog fucking die because she's irresponsible. So the dog's just going to fucking stay here. It's in the wife's name anyway. So, tough shit. If she moved out and took that dog with her, that dog would have a month before she had heart failure. And I know that sounds mean, but you know what? I am just being honest. I mean, right now we have 2 dogs with heart conditions, and they're both on the same medication, which I have to every couple of months scramble to try to find some place to get it because it's made in Mexico, and half the time there's shortages, and there's all this stupid bullshit. Um, yeah, that dog would just be dead because she couldn't take care of it. I mean, she's in here with us today because the girl's not here. Right, Tuna? I mean, between shots everything that you have to do with them, it's not cheap. And then they get old, and I mean, you should put them on a senior diet that's lower calorie because they're less active. There's all this kind of stuff that just raises the expenses the older they get. Loki, we've been lucky with. I mean, knock wood. He's 17 and he's healthy as fuck. He runs around with the younger girl Tessa, playing all the time and wrestling. I've never seen a 17-year-old dog still acting like a puppy constantly. Other than if you have like a Jack Russell or something. Jelly was kind of like that, where she'd run around, bark, and play right up until she got sick. And, you know, she was a rat terrier, and they're crazy. Yeah, all of that stuff is just expensive as hell. You know what? My dogs are like my kids to me. So it's worth it. When Jelly had her spinal cancer, the wife knew, we took her to a a dog oncologist basically and had her looked at. Um, when we said, we were like, he's like, we could do an MRI, or let me, I can take an X-ray first. If it's something blatant, an MRI is going to cost. It was going to be like $2,000-3,000 to get all the stuff done, and I was ready to write a check for it because she was like, she still is my favorite child I ever had. Let's be honest. Um, she was my baby, and something like that happens. I mean, there are a lot of people that they would just put the animal down. It's like, oh well, fuck it, they're not worth it. I can't treat my animal, my pups like that. But if you're gonna treat them well and take care of them, they're not cheap, especially when something happens. Unfortunately, it ended up, her tumor showed up right on the X-ray. He's like, it's on this vertebrae. It is obvious what's going on there. She'll be lucky if she has 6 months. That's why she's losing the ability to walk. We can make her comfortable, which we did, and we find, I, it tore me apart, but we ended up having to have her put down. And my wife to this day says that's the only time she's ever seen me shed a tear over anything. But it's not it's not cheap. Especially, the key is if you're going to take care of them properly, it's not going to be cheap. And the older they get, it most of the time it it just gets more expensive. Like I said, we've been really lucky with Loki. He's a he's an anomaly among dogs. He's going to live the dog's dream, I think. Be healthy, able to run and play, and die of a heart attack chasing a rabbit or something. It's like the human's dream, die in your sleep or whatever. I think that's the dog's dream. Stay healthy and Just fall over from a heart attack chasing a rabbit, doing that thing you love. Oh, there's so many of these gaps to fill. At least it's easier than doing the walls. We can be less aggressive with the points. All right. Yeah, I was talking earlier, Ash, before you got on. I was looking this morning about picking up the D&D Dark Alliance game that just released yesterday. And, thinking, well, maybe I'll get it on PC. We've upgraded the PC and all. And then I looked on Game Pass, and brand spanking new game, another one, included with your Game Pass subscription. So, base game $39. I will take that money saved any freaking day of the week. So I was very excited about money saved. The what add-on? Oh. Oh, you got the charge and play kit? Like $24.95. It's money well spent to be able to use it. I had gotten my son the Series S because he was wanting to play games with me, and I'm like, I'm going to play console a lot. So I picked it up for him. And then I'm like, and he had a good point. Once I finish this line, I'm going to pick something up. And this is probably the only gripe that I've ever had with Xbox. This thing comes with a built-in rechargeable battery. Lasts forever. There's a PS5 controller, my PS4 controllers. They all have rechargeable batteries. Why? Other than it's part of Microsoft's monetization scheme to make you have to pay for a charge and play kit. And I guess now stuff like that is, let's be honest, that type of monetization for Microsoft is probably more important now because with Game Pass, they're not getting the benefit of new games come out and gamers are paying $60, $70 for every new game. There are a lot of brand spanking new games like Outriders, the D&D game that just came out yesterday. We fucked that line up. A lot of them that are being included in Game Pass. So, they are, right now what they're counting on is monetization through monthly fees. So, they are guaranteed money every month, which for provider, it's probably preferable to hoping that people, buy a title. This way, they're always buying a piece of a title. But because that's their monetization scheme now, rather than just selling AAA games like they were forever. Little stupid things like that where they could have upgraded the controllers and made them rechargeable. That's more important to them. And let's face it, it's working for them. I was looking at my Microsoft stock today, and in I think since like September of 2019, it's gone up 89%. So it's working. Yeah. Well, it's like when I got the Series S, I had the Xbox One, and I had already gotten a charge and play kit, and because they didn't make any changes to the controllers, I was just able to take the charge and play battery, flip it over to the Series S, and bam, done. The only change they made to the controller is instead of being a micro USB, now it's a USB C, um, to put in the front port to charge. And honestly, I don't ever show it, but let me finish this line and I'll show something. All right, let me pick this up. So here's my Series S controller. See what's in there? I run it cabled all the time. So, it really doesn't matter. And I do the same thing with like the PS4. I've always kept them cabled in. Tell you what, yesterday, I said when I was getting off yesterday that I was going to go to the gym, which go to the gym basically means go to a different part of my house because I have an Olympic free weight gym that I've taken like 18 months off from using because of an injury. And I decided to, I've been feeling okay. And I'm like, fuck it. We're going to start working out again. I did chest, shoulders, and tries. And I'm feeling it. And I didn't even, I probably shouldn't even say I didn't go heavy. I mean, when I stopped working out like 20 months ago, I had actually pulled my back really bad, not lifting, but I had deadlifted the day before. I pulled 505, went to the golf course in the morning and didn't stretch, and I was hitting some wedges, worked down the clubs, pulled the driver out and just tried to rip it and felt my back go pop. And I was done until yesterday as far as working out. Took that long for that soft tissue injury to finally get to where I was like, maybe I can lift again. But I went light. Ended up doing chest, shoulders, tries. The shoulders I always end up going fairly light. I think I only pushed 150 with shoulder presses, military presses yesterday, because my shoulders are fucked. I probably won't ever go too far above that. And then my bench I did last set was 225 for 12 reps. And I say I went light, but before I got injured, I was pushing 430 for 5. So, you know, called my son and I said, I feel fucking weak, son. Told him that what I worked out. He's like, yeah, it's like 200 pounds under what you were lifting before. Happy you can download games already out on the One. Yeah. Yeah, if you owned them digitally, the S is perfect for that. Now, if you had discs, which I have a few games that I had discs on the One, there are times when I almost wish I had the X, but it's never available. And you know what I may end up doing? If the wife ends up enjoying playing games with my son and I, is end up getting an X, putting it on the monitor that I put back there for her, where so that she can play Warcraft with us, and hook up the S to that and put the X on over here. But yeah, oh man, I fucking hate that first 2 to 4 weeks when you start working out. I fucking hate it. I mean, my shoulders are feeling it right now. My tries, not really. I got up this morning and my tries, for some reason, felt a little pumped, but they shouldn't. That means I'm probably going to be sore as fuck later. I was thinking about doing back and buys on Thursday. I might do it today and then take Thursday off and do legs and maybe go with a schedule where it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have to admit, I'm getting fucking old and I can't hit large muscle groups twice a week anymore. At least not for quite some time. And I think I have to give up the whole idea of powerlifting, which is, pretty much how I've worked out my whole fucking life until I got older and started getting injuries. Or I should say long-term injuries. I mean, when you're young, you get them, and a couple weeks later, you're fine. You get older, and that recovery time just goes up exponentially. Let's check this side, make sure. I think we got all the little filler spaces in. Maybe here. I doubt anything's going to show through, but I'd rather not risk it because that little peeker would bother me. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I admit I can't do the up till 4 a.m. gaming anymore unless I were to take a massive nap midday. I had a couple of times over the last couple of weeks where it was one Saturday night I was up late till like 3:30 in the morning playing Outriders with my son. Oh my god. It took me 2 days to recover from that shit. I think I already did these, but I'm going to make sure. And we'll zoom out and see what we missed. That sucks. Can't say I've had insomnia. My only issue is till I got older, everything falls down to till I got older. Longest time I only needed four, if I was really tired, 6 hours of sleep a night. Now it's like I'm looking for 8. Kind of glad though that Dark Alliance is on Game Pass because it looks like it's got some glitchy shit going on. Hopefully not as bad as Outriders did, but stuff like you're not able to save mid mission in case you have to get off, so you'd have to restart everything over. It kicks if you're playing with a group. You finish a mission, it kicks everybody out of the group, and you got to regroup up. That's just basic stuff that shouldn't happen. Who let the dogs out? All right, let's see where the camera is. I don't think it's a lucky camera angle today. Let's see. So we have Thor hiding over there. That black spot is Luna. And there's Loki. What do we want? Thor looking depressed. Let's do Thor and Luna. Even though Luna just looks like a black spot. Yesterday, Loki just laid in that one spot all day. He was just like, I'm here. I'm committed. He needs his rest though, because that young thing Tessa, she wears his ass out. He actually starts getting a little grumpy. So we got all that filler done. I'm excited. So let's I'm gonna zoom out real quick. So we've got 2 crevasses, 3 crevasses. It looks like an elevated position. We'll figure out which side's the elevated side. And we need a giant stalagmite to turn into a tower, and that tower is over here. So I guess we're going to start laying in the crevasses. All the elevation points, we'll lay them in. Poor Thor. All right, so we're going to need this to fade in and out. We will, let's see, path tool. I think we're going to use our standard cave ridge, no shadow. And we're going to need to pull that down. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pull it down a lot, and we're going to layer this thing. Usually these things end up going like where it's into a wall. I am not sure. So this will be grow and shrink for the transition out. Let's see if it does what it needs to do. I'm feeling dubious about it. And then each layer that we lay down, come on, create the point. There we go. So each successive layer we're going to have to lay down underneath. So I think what we'll do, we're going to do a short run here. We're going to let it fade into nothingness about here. And we'll bump the width up just a little bit. Let's see if this does what I think it'll do. See, the longer we make it, is it going to do it? See, that stayed way too thick there. So let's undo that one. Let's try it down at like 0.75. Close enough. Let's do the same thing. You did say you're talking about doing a half marathon. And I think I remember saying, and you know, I'm at the point in life where even if a grizzly bear was chasing me, I wouldn't run anymore. All right, so let's drop that fade point there. Ooh, look. That's pretty damn close to being good. All right. Now we need to do the same thing up here, except we need to do this as a fade and shrink to make it come up into that zone. So fuck you. Undo. Undo. Fuck! So I think this is how we'll do it. So we need this to fade and shrink. We're going to start it here. We'll take it there. Undo. Lord Jesus Crust, how's it going today? You know, we're at one of those stressful points of mapping. Making the perfect crevasse. Then we need it to do grow and fade. This is always like one of the things that I end up playing with a lot to hopefully make it look good. See, I got to start that one up a little bit higher, it looks like. So I tell you what, let's do this. Let's follow the line until there. Still didn't bring it back as much as we want. I need that to shrink a good bit. All right. I'm not thoroughly thrilled with that, but we're going to do that. Then same thing, grow and fade. And if we go this way, the upper edge will be up top. And the farther out we take this, the more that'll shrink there. So I think that worked. Then we need to flip them to fade and shrink. And let's do this. We're going to do this underneath. Not happy with that. This is one of those, this is just one of those where we end up doing this a lot over and over again. All right, I think that's the point we need that to be at. I'm hoping we took it back far enough at this point. Hoping when I hit this button, and my dreams were just shattered. So I think to make this one work, we're going to have to take it down smaller. Let's join it here. Right there. All right. Now we just need to start layering. Oh, we'll figure it out. It just comes down to like we just did where we mess with the size. And we'll probably take it up just a little bit. And now because we have our end points there, we're going to do fade on both ends and start building this in. So let's do this. I think we need to do this one kind of here. Key is just getting these little zones to where it has that dark zone with the crevasse doing what it needs to do. And now we can do, instead of the grow, we'll do fade. Now, I like to build it up in layers. I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. Zoom in and see what that looks like. Nope. Can't go that direction. Got to remember that. So here, go like this. Kind of go like this. And as long as you do this underneath, it layers it up so it does look like a natural rock formation. I think this, we can get rid of the fades. Oh, the hell with you. Damn it. Let's take a look. That's damn close to being good. Now let's have a look. We need to look at these ends too. I mean, they're not perfect, but it's close enough for government work. I guess our only other option here would be to do a fade with over. Let's take a look and see what this does. So I don't like how that kind of has that weird groovy look there. And by doing a shorter run, we can make it look a little better. All right, I think that's good. We'll have to look and see. Let's look at what the zone number is, 13G. Hopefully I still have this up. All right, it's 300-foot deep chasm. That's a deep chasm. All right, that's fine. That one's done. So let's see what this chasm in area 3 is. Cavern is a peaked roof. Rocky ledge surrounds the crevasse. After descending 200 feet, the crevasse breaks through a roof of a vast cavern not shown on map 20. Otherworldly cavern is 100 feet high, 1,200 feet long, and 800 feet wide. Basically, they're going to fall 100 feet if they climb down to the bottom of that crevasse. And we're gonna skip worrying about that zone, but we're gonna create the crevasse. You know, that would be just like a whole nother freaking area for them to have to explore. And I am not that enthusiastic about that idea. All right, so I think we're going to do a little shorter runs to start off the ends of this to try to give it a smoother look. That seemed to work when we did it over there. All right, so let's see. That's the top ridge going this way. Top ridge will go that way for this side. So transition will be grow and fade. We'll need the same thing down here. Then we'll flip it to fade and shrink. That'll close off the end there. Come on. Just trying to get those points to where they need to be. All right. So now we can go fade to fade. Or actually, let's not do that. We're going to do this. I think at this point we'll do everything going over. We'll do this one as under. We're going to cut around here. Hopefully the width will be fine. Too big. Too big. See, what we're doing here is we're creating that bottom outline. We'll do everything as an over so it covers this, and that'll take care of the top edge once we're done with the last portion that we set. That's that. I'll do the same thing here. We're going to bring it in right here, and that one's done. Now the rest of these, we can do this way. But we do need to fade this end. Cut up and left a gap there. We got to close it and redo. Yeah, we're not happy with that. I think we need to do this in smaller sections. All right. So let's do the same thing and close this part up a little bit. We're kind of doing this the opposite of what I normally do. So I'm going to back some of this out. I mean, what I prefer to do is do it as we do the top and then we do everything as an underneath. I don't think that experiment there was passing the grade. So let's get this top ridge laid in all the way around. Or most of the way around. All right, that I think worked. Let's take a look at this end. That's not going to work. Now we can start laying everything underneath and it should be fine. Right, Thor, buddy? Nope, we have it set as over. I think that's a gap. It is. So we just try to make that edge, make sure it's there. And then it doesn't look like we have multiple ledge points on the top. I think we'll let this next run, let's do this, just a little bigger. And I'm hoping this takes care of this portion of our crevasse. And it did. All right. All right, that one's done. We're going to try to get this smoothed out a little bit. Fuck. I think yep, that'll close that end out. We're just going to have a couple of short little runs to do here. That one's done. Done. And this one's nice and easy, in theory. I'd say that's good. Let's do this. Does that really look like lava? Let's see. I am curious. What does that look like? Actually, it just looks like maybe cooled lava, but it's really nice and dark. So I think we can put that in here too. We'll do that for each one of these holes. Let's take one more look at that. I like that. It works. And let's do a quick save. All right, we need to look at 9B. I believe this will be the high point. Let's double check. ramp hugs the south wall and climbs to a 20-foot ledge. All right, so I think we can do this. We're going to call that done. Doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's it for our ridge lines. Now I just need to add some walls to this thing, and then we can start taking care of everything else. So I think we'll have to get a little creative with some of these walls. I don't think we have to get as creative as I thought. There we go. Keep forgetting, we discovered the magic tool. All right, good deal. Now we need path tool for steps. Come on. Preferably, oh, let's do that one. Oh, shit. Look at that. We have the path screwed up. No growing or fading. That's fugly. I think what we're going to do is this. Let's just see if we can't make a curve that'll match that. And then we'll move it. Excuse me. It's about like that. That's good. And tell you what, copy. Paste. Okay. Then we need circular stairway. We need to turn the stone. All right. Let's save again, and I'm going to move this up to my other screen. Now so we'll be able to see better. Definitely a big difference. All right, so we have our stairs and stuff done there. Let's drop some doors. We're just going to drop doors without jams here. That's the entry in. Come on. Got to kiss this line right here. And there it is. So the stalagmite tower is almost done. The basic layout is done. We've got that there. Pillar we use is not really important, but you know. Just indicates blockage because we will never go to the expanded levels. And I think for a change, once we get done these the basic layout stuff, we're going to go ahead and take care of putting in all of our text and then we'll start actually finishing off this dungeon. So let's do that. All right, this can get out of the way. We can pull our stuff back where it belongs. Come on. Come on. Come on. And I think that's all the text and notations we need. We never put the room numbers in. All right, now we can start decorating. Now for the exciting stuff. Area 1. The tunnel inscribed a glyph in the floor using a modified version of the symbol spell requiring an intelligence check to spot. So, you know what? It's invisible, basically. The glyph triggers the death effect. When any creature crosses over it, after the effect is triggered, ghostly skulls float above the area where the glyph is inscribed. That's not awesome. All right, 2. All right, so there's a stone golem. Just have to place that in there yourself. There is a forge. I might not have brought the forge assets in. Your room smells like weed. Yeah, I fucking hate when that happens. All right. So we need the forge assets. As long as he leaves you alone now, that's all you can ask for at this point. Other than for him to like drive off a cliff, that you could also ask for that. It's probably not going to happen. Blacksmith asset pack, we need that. And hopefully the forge will fit. I think it will. You know, we're going to drop it and resize it. That's what we're going to do. Come on, motherfucker. Damn it. Try to get this so it lines up just perfect with that wall. Yeah, that's a basic white trash move right there. I mean, honestly, all you really need is a valve puller. I probably shouldn't give you any ideas, but it's really all you need. I mean, that would be my potential response. The good old valve puller trick. I think 3 is done because it was basically the crevasse for A, B, and C. Let's see what we're looking at there. Moss grows on the ceiling. Nothing I can do about it. Earthen floor gives rise to a forest of fungi. I hate fungi forests. More fungi in B. C lined with ripple bark. All right. Let's see if the fungus among us comes up. I mean, you could always do the grumpy old men thing and put a fish under the seat in this car. That's assuming he doesn't keep it locked. Getting woke up last night is a fucking pisser. What am I looking for? That's right, fungi. I've added so much shit in here. Let's try plant. Oh my god, plate and plank. All right, so let's look at the first room, see what it says is in here. Barrel stalks, Damasks, Tongues of Madness, and Trillimax. So let's start this way. Mushroom. Ooh. Cool. Oh my god, the plant planks. Let's try this. Where's my barrel stalks that I normally use? Sure, why not? I know these are water plants, but I don't care. Where did that go? Probably. I thought for sure I brought that in here. Where the hell is it? I know I have like an Underdark pack. I wonder if I didn't pull it into my folder. Or I'm just not seeing it. That's possible. There it is, the Underdark Fungi pack. See, and look, it's not showing up here. Let's try this again. Ha! Ha ha! Jesus Christ. I knew it was here. I love when that happens. It's the best. Thought we picked another mushroom. We're just not getting it. You know what? That's good enough there. All right, 4B has what? Mushrooms and ripple bark. So what we're going to do here, and this is essentially ripple bark. Let's place it, and then we will resize and move it. I think that's the plan. All right, so that's placed. And we just need some mushrooms. Good enough. For C, Ripple bark. Same thing. We'll drop some of this, some of that, a couple of those. All right, we'll call that one done. So 5 is a crevasse. Nothing happening other than noises, somebody giggling. I can't put anything in there for that. There's a Mummy Lord in Area 6. So I've already taken care of all the stalagmites other than this tower. Let's see if we have something that will kind of fit there. Really? I think we can still scale it up. We're going to put it there, and the door will be there. I mean, it's not perfect to this drawing over here, but it's probably good enough. Is there anything else that's kind of shaped like that? Not really. Kind of, maybe. So we want to do that. That's a little closer. Could do that. Why not? Doing a quick save. All right, so that gets all of that stuff in. Let's take a look down here now. 6A, 20-foot high cavern resembles a tooth-filled maw because of its numerous stalactites and stalagmites. Plentiful rock formations make it difficult for large and cumbersome creatures to pass through. Nothing important there. Mass grave floor packed earth on this 10-foot high shallow grave for 8 Durgar mummies. So maybe this room, we need an overlay of dirt. If I remember right, they're toward the bottom, right? Wet mud. Rocky dirt. We could do that. There's our dirt. And 6C is here. Let's see what this is. So there's an altar. we need some treasure. Or not. Coins, maybe. Let's see what's on there. I would love for one of our characters to get some mummy rot. That would be awesome. Altar's carved from granite. So there's gold, diamonds, teapot, warhammer. We're just going to pile a bunch of coins because it is a pile of coins, and we'll let them dig for it. We're not going to let them see exactly what's there. All right. All right, let's find room 7. How many rooms are in this one? I don't think we'll get this done today. So there's Durgar in there. Doesn't really look like there's anything I need to place in that room. There are gargoyles and golems in here. That needs to be placed in the... that's in this room. 8A needs to be placed in your game. That's just a magical trap. 8D, there should be some slime in here. So for that, we're going to use our water effect. I think what we're going to do, we'll use the slime green hex code, which is A7C 408. Accept. Do the same thing here. Accept. And then no blend distance, or almost none, because we don't want a whole lot of lines in here. So that'll be our slime on the floor. I think that takes care of that room. There's some fungus on the east wall. I lied, we're not done there. Fungi. We're going to do it like this. You do it right, you can use the same asset. Nobody's even going to know it's the same one. All right, so that'll be done. There's a giant snail in there. We are not placing that though. That's another place it in your virtual tabletop thing. 9A. Stone golems in there. "9B, finally an arch gate. So we need this floor to have a bunch of broken stone, and there is west end of the ledge, we'll say here. So first let's do this. Excuse me. Oh my God. It's not a perfect place for this. Let's do this. That's our arch gate. Dog pill. Waiting for one that's small enough. There we go. Put a couple of those in here. All right. Nine A, 9B. Oh, wow. We're not going to have anything like that. 10 is going to have like jigsaw shaped pieces of stone. Look, no. Unless we're going to be literal and say it's shaped like a jigsaw. But no, that's not it. So we'll figure out what we'll put in 10 when we get back on and start working on the map again. I think we're going to go ahead and save what we have. And I think we'll pick up mapping again either Friday or Monday. I think tomorrow the plan's going to be to maybe mess with Dark Alliance, the new D&D game. See how that looks. And if we like it, we'll play it tomorrow and Friday, but we'll see. But that's going to be it for the day. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already done so, hit that darned follow button to be notified when we're on. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Have an awesome rest of your day.